Have you heard about this, Kurt?
Oh, I heard about it a while ago. Bill Maher spoke up on it when it
He
happened.
did?
Yeah, because
So they passed this rule. Oscar voters rip into ridiculous new diversity rules for Best Picture. You're not going to believe what they're doing.
I know what they're doing.
So
they can't believe it because they don't pay attention. You're just upset on the other segment. How do people not notice this? Well, they all didn't because I'm in part of the thing. And then, like you're Robert De Niro, and suddenly you're like, hey, that's weird. I thought I'm part of the thing. And now they notice, just like that Who thing that's going to go in effect. This is that. Word was out about this a while ago, but they were all busy wearing potato sacks and pretending to be BLM supported, all the other crap. And now it's happening.
if it were released today, The Godfather would possibly have no chance at winning a Best Picture Oscar. That's because the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences is beholden to the new inclusivity standards, starting with, and we know where that comes from. Starting with the March 2024 awards, movies will not be considered for Best Picture nomination unless they meet 2 of the 4 standards. And what are they? One of them is featuring a lead or a significant supporting character from an underrepresented racial or ethnic group, have a main storyline that focuses on an unrepresented group, or at least 30% of the cast comes from 2 or more underrepresented groups: women, ethnic minorities, LGBTQ, or the disabled.
Huh? How are they underrepresented if I see their flags everywhere?
Couldn't make Reservoir Dogs.
Well, I was just going to say,
Couldn't make Reservoir Dogs.
Pulp Fiction lost the Oscar to Forrest Gump.
Uh-huh.
So all this is doing, it's not the thing with movies, is that award crap. All they did is destroy. It was already worthless at this point, the Oscars. Unless you're the kind of person that puts a bow tie on a cat, it was worthless. So this is the end of not the, like, movies. It's just like, oh, you'll just have to make cool movies and not worry. The only reason
so this
Oscars
is the end of
the
only reason Oscars matter is because people think they matter.
Yeah.
And now this will end them mattering, and we can just go back to making
and that
movies.
died when they jailed Harvey Weinstein. He kept that crap going probably past when it should have gone.
It's got some voting members of the Academy up in arms. It's completely ridiculous, one director fumed to the Post. I'm for diversity, but to make you cast certain types of people if you want to get nominated, that makes the whole process contrived.
Equity, it's called. You don't even like equity?
The person who is right for the part should get the part. Why should you be limited in your choice? But it's the world we're living in.
Oh, you didn't notice when everyone was saying, hey, this isn't the thing we agreed to, and all the actors went, because they think it's equality, because it sounds like it. I don't know about Richard Dreyfuss. He might have spoke out, but all of them, that's weird. I guess it wasn't just liberal stuff. It's something crazy.
But who counts as the underrepresented, right? Would Peter Falk qualify because he had a glass eye? Does age count? Didn't think so.
Well,
how about actors who refuse to vote for the Democratic Party?
That's a great one. You have to have 30% of those.
Viggo Mortensen, he should play every female lead. Am I right?
Yeah, the guy with the bad skin that's in all the cop shows. Who else votes Republican in Hollywood?
Who's more underrepresented in women's roles, women or trans women? I say Dylan Mulvaney plays Whitney Houston. How about that?
Yeah. Listen, I support all that. You got to understand, I really enjoyed it when John Wayne played Genghis Khan.
So Richard Dreyfuss certainly agrees. In discussing the new standards of inclusion with the firing line of PBS last month, the veteran actor blasted the rules. They make me vomit. Describing movies as an art form and a form of commerce, the Close Encounters of a Third Kind actor continued, no one should be telling me as an artist that I have to give in to the latest, most current idea of what morality is.
Oh, he's far right.
He's alternative.
Far right maniac.
He's
Alt-right, yeah.
An industry insider related to the Post, their goal is not to disqualify any films, but rather to celebrate and encourage progress towards greater representation and inclusion in the industry. One of Hollywood's biggest producers told the Post that very few people a better way to do that. Their goal is not to disqualify any films, which is what you're doing.
Well, that's not their goal.
But rather to celebrate and encourage progress towards greater representation and inclusion in the industry. I can think of about a million other ways to do that that are better and less divisive than what you're doing. One of them would be, how about the Academy? The Academy then funds projects that are made by underrepresented people. How about you do that? I bet that they would care more about working than winning awards. So let's do that. That's one way. That's just off the top of my head. I'm a pothead and I figured that out.
Or how about instead of giant corporations cranking out the same recycled slop,
right?
Almost exclusively, what if you, I don't know, encourage original of any kind? Anything that wasn't the exact same thing over and over again, and you just switch colors out because you're like how like a cat can't see TV with art. It's all just real estate to these people.
One of Hollywood's biggest producers told the Post that very few people in the industry favor the new rules, but unlike Dreyfus, they don't speak out for fear of cancel culture.
Wow, what pussies.
Everyone thinks the Academy went too far. It's ridiculous to tell us we have to regulate our work. We talk about it amongst ourselves, but it's not worth speaking up publicly.
But it is to talk about Putin publicly.
I guess so.
Not your own life that's being infringed on, but Putin.
Hollywood's full of cowards and go-alongs, just like the world.
Yeah.
The last several years of Best Picture winners actually already meet the criteria. In Everything Everywhere All at Once, a 2023 winner, Michelle Yeoh, is that how you say her name?
Yeah,
Yeoh leads a mostly Asian cast. Coda, which won in 2022, I still haven't seen that movie. Have I? Have we seen Coda? Oh, I did see it. Which won in 2022, centers around a deaf family in Colchester, Mass. Nomadland from 2021 revolves around Frances McDormand's widow character who travels the U.S. in a van.
I mean, what am I going to watch? Frances McDormand shit in a bucket? And like these awards are like such nonsense.
Remember when Frances McDormand famously advocated for inclusion writers as she won her Oscar in 2018?
Yes, she was wearing a potato sack. I swear to God, I remember it. We were laughing so hard at it. The Oscars are a joke.
I wonder how many people who advocated for these policies who now quietly regret it.
I wonder how many of them saw Nomadland, because I'll bet you it's about this many.
What are they going to regret it? When she loses her part to Lucy Liu?
Or Aquafina. More like Aquafina.
Oh, okay.
Aquafina's almost finished because she's not allowed to use her fake black accent to rap anymore, so her Little Mermaid rap sucks.
Parasite, the 2022, focuses on two South Korean families. That was a great film.
Yeah, it was good.
The 2019 winner, Green Book, was controversial because it stood accused of spoon-feeding racism to white people, but would still make the cut. Oh, that's that Peter Farrelly movie.
With Viggo Mortensen?
Mm-hmm.
You know he improv those lines? No,
I didn't. But other films nominated this year possibly would not qualify. All Quiet on the Western Front would not have been nominated, said the director of the World War I film with a historically accurate white male cast.
Oh, well, they would just make it a fake... what they do now is they make an insane history thing where you're like, it'll take you right out of it because they have to have like a Benetton assortment of people in history.
Yeah.
You know, Hamilton doesn't pretend to be a documentary, even though it's like, we had a Puerto Rican as Hamilton, but it doesn't try to be. It's like, I'm telling you a story through this. So Hollywood producers can't understand things. So they're like, oh no, we could just do that with everything. And we're like, this is a documentary. See, Cleopatra. She's a powerful woman of business and strategy.
Well, in terms of Elvis, Kurt, there are probably enough women and minorities to hit 30% and qualify. What does that mean in terms of Elvis? I don't know what that means. Jim Piazza. Oh,
the movie that came out.
That movie, Elvis.
The casting.
Oh, there's a movie I didn't see either.
The Baz Luhrmann movie.
I'm so out of touch. Jim Piazza, co-author of the Academy Awards, The Complete Unofficial History, he said that he told the Post that. But many of those people are in dance and party scenes and on-screen briefly. How they count will be... So that's what they're going to do now. They're just going to have crowd scenes and they're going to put a bunch of black and brown people in it, or handicapped or something. Or can you even say that anymore?
I think Will Smith's behind this.
I bet it. Going further back, think about Schindler's List. Should that have not been nominated since there were no non-white people in the primary roles as the director, referencing the 93 Spielberg movie, which largely features white male actors? I'm wondering if Jewish people would count for underrepresented racial or ethnic group in Hollywood.
Well, I mean,
but
Sarah Silverperson will try.
But it would be up to the Academy to figure that out. Oh, they're good at figuring things out, that Academy, aren't they?
I'd imagine they already did figure it out.
Other macho classics that these days would likely fall by the Best Picture wayside: Gladiator and All the President's Men. According to Newsweek, past nominees Ford versus Ferrari, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, American Hustle, and Joker would not have cleared the Best Picture bar.
I did like those movies. I didn't see Ford versus Ferrari, but I heard it was good. I like the other ones. Gladiator, I'm like, it's fine.
So that doesn't even make sense because
Let's
as a
not say something
vegan,
weird.
Joaquin Phoenix is the most underrepresented minority there is.
Not in Hollywood.
Not in Hollywood. Besides casting, a film can meet standards by having people from underrepresented ethnic or racial groups involved in the making or creation of the movie, paid internships and training opportunities, and working on publicity, marketing, or distribution.
What about overweight, unattractive people? I feel like they're underrepresented in starring roles.
Now David Sirota's out of a job. That's the bad part,
Why?
right? Because he's white.
Oh,
He's a white male.
well, it's called progress.
Still, a film critic and historian who's a member of the Academy describes the new criteria as bold and audacious, adding that it's also groundbreaking in a way that can be tough to navigate.
I'm sorry, I mixed up my review of the new Black Little Mermaid. What were you asking me?
I've never witnessed such a thing happening in the world of the arts, he told the Post. I've never seen restrictions out on what you can do if you want to receive a certain recognition for one's art.
You haven't heard of the Soviet Union back in the 50s? Okay. You never heard of this before? Oh, it's bold and audacious and new. What if we restrict what people can do? Wow.
A former top studio executive explained to the Post that he left his position a year ago in part because of diversity run amok. I knew this was coming, obviously, but they've been going overboard on this, in my opinion, for quite some time. Casting is getting less organic and more about checking the diversity boxes. It's hurting the product, not helping, and I don't think it'll be good for anyone in the long run, added the executive. I think the Academy got itself into a corner with inclusivity, and now it can't get out.
Well, number one, he goes diversity. I hate that he goes diversity run amok. Because here's what happens. This stupid thing they did, like now diversity, which is a good thing that I would prefer to have that we don't have
Right.
and still don't have. That's a good thing. But now that's becoming, diversity run amok. So that's going to be the buzz phrase that some idiot glibberal is going to parrot when somebody meant, what is it, diversity run amok? I don't use that language. I like diversity. What I don't like is corporate nonsense from the top down to cover for all your many crimes.
That's right, and that's what it is.
And we ain't going to fix that. So we'll have this fake argument.
This isn't just happening in Hollywood. It's happening everywhere. It's happening in museums. It's happening in corporations.
Oh, is somebody going to risk their job now and maybe talk about it? It's only been like 10 or 12 years.
It's happening across the arts, right?
Yeah. 2011, that's when this stuff started. And
but-
that was because of,
But let's be
Yeah.
honest, Kurt. Art should be regulated.
yeah. I mean, it is by money. It always was. It's how rich people hide their money. The original NFT.
That's the thing about art. Art doesn't make its own rules. It takes rules from, come on, this is the exact opposite of art.
Did you know Jackson Pollock, the CIA funded him and promoted him, and to contrast against the Soviet Union where the art had to be,
No, I didn't know this. I didn't know. I'm not denying it.
Okay. Well, it blew my mind when I saw it. It's like one of these, like, oh, here's a wacky thing from back in the day. It's not like a conspiracy thing. It's FOIA. So Jackson Pollock, all that stuff that looks splatters. You're like, I don't understand that. That was the point of promoting it to the top because it showed America as a place where you could just do anything as opposed to communism.
No kidding.
Yes, look it up. It's very interesting, and it's not a secret thing.
No kidding.
It's been FOIA released, and so just think about that for 2 seconds. And the implications of that. And so I guess now we're moving into the Soviet era that the CIA was fighting against with these rules.
You know, what people need, for the whole response to this should have been a Greta Thunberg. How dare you?
Yeah, 12 years ago, these punk ass actors and everybody else should have said, I know you paid for whatever saying, I certainly have.
Yeah, sure.
And now that they're coming out and saying it, I'm like, wow, I lost my hair in the time it took you to notice there might be a problem with this. So enjoy it, Richard Dreyfuss.
Any liberation movement that endorses censorship is doomed to failure because it's no longer about liberation.
No, it's about protecting from harm. How is that not liberation? You don't think that trumps protection from harm?
Sex could be a costume. Race can be a costume. Appropriation is the basis of all art, by the way.
Have you guys not seen Dylan Mulvaney, the greatest woman who ever lived?
The greatest artist.
If it wasn't for appropriation, we wouldn't have the best woman I've ever seen or heard, Dylan Mulvaney.
You remember when Rihanna defended Rachel Dolezal?
I did too. And I asked, I go, why can't she do that? I believe someone can transition sex. And my producer on the show, this was his answer. Ready? Kurt. He gave me a Dr. Hotez. I'm not even going to dignify it.
So she was a white woman pretending to be, she was identifying as a black woman. Mm-hmm. And she had a position in the NAACP.
She put in the work. She got her hair curled. She got a tan. She ran a chapter of the NAACP and earned it. Not like Meghan Markle.
That's right.
I don't accept. There's a black princess. I see a wedding. Where is she? The chick named Megan.
You know what? You know what Rihanna said about Rachel Dolezal?
What?
I think she was a bit of a hero because she kind of flipped on society a little bit.
That's amazing. It's the same thing.
It is such a horrible thing that she pretended. Is it such a horrible thing that she pretended to be black? Black is a great thing, and I think she legit changed people's perspective a bit and woke people up. As long as we put energy into straitjacketing one another, no pun intended, we are doomed.
That's great words from Rihanna. And by the way, I think Vanilla Ice already did that though.
I think so. I didn't Slim Shady do that?
Didn't Elvis do that?
Elvis. Let's go back to Elvis.
It's called a big melt. Well, the
called
melting
appropriation. That's called a cultural appropriation.
Whatever I know, Chris. Whatever.
And that's what art does.
Yeah. Whatever anybody tells you.
They got mad at. Do you remember the guy Paul Simon when he did that?
Me and Julio by the schoolyard.
No. The other one about
Lady Smith, Black Mambazo.
No.
That was the
the one who goes. Get back them roly poly little fat face girl. Whatever that album was, he did it based on African music.
That is Lady Smith, Black Mambazo.
And he got in trouble for that.
Yeah.
Was that what that was called?
Yeah,
he got in trouble for that. They said that was cultural appropriation.
When did that happen?
When he made that album, I don't know, 30 years ago?
Well, that's back when
it wasn't big then.
Academics.
Yeah, it was just a small section of people that were saying that then. But if he did that now, he would get slaughtered for it.
I got a funny story about that, but I'll say it off.
Okay,
off
please.
You're gonna laugh when you hear this.
Hey, it's the CBDistillery.com. They have an unbelievable deal. Listen to this deal. If you go, you can get 50% off on their CBD stuff. 50% off. All you do is when you go there, use the promo code RUMBLE. You get 50% off of any of the CBD stuff. Here's the CBD stuff that we've been using. This is the stuff you rub it on. Oh, it feels good. Takes care of your muscle pain. And here's this. This is the drops that you take. Helps you sleep and it helps calm you down. And guess who's been taking it? Misha, you've been taking it? Go ahead. Tell me how it's been going.
I've been sleeping.
It's sleeping a lot better, right?
I've been sleeping a lot better. I quite like it. I got a second bottle. Thank you very much.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. Fantastic.
Bottle.
I can't comment on my sleep because
You're just going to start it this week.
I'm going to start doing it. Yeah, I haven't.
It's right beside your bed.
I'm going to start taking it before I go to sleep, and I'll let you know. I know Misha's up on this. So you can choose a range of carefully formulated CBD and other plant-based solutions for relaxation, stress, sleep, and pain after physical activity, even mood and focus. The extract healing part of the plant compounds and vital nutrients for your whole body. No artificial flavors, no preservatives, no sweeteners, just 100% clean ingredients. So they got this exclusive thing. It's 50% off. Go to cbdistillery.com. Enter RUMBLE. That's cbdistillery.com. That's the letter C, letter B, distillery.com, and enter RUMBLE. Now available in Idaho, Iowa, and South Dakota. Hey, come see us live on tour. Be in Bakersfield, Baltimore, San Francisco, Huntington Beach, Rosemont, and Chicago, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, New York City, Pottstown, Pennsylvania, Stamford, Connecticut, and more.
a
Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.